YouTube. Just wanted to go over some of the things I've been doing to this John Milner Dragster build. I cut a lot of that off, that shield. Still gonna have to sand it down a little bit. I added a piece of plastic, just some of the sheet plastic. Put it on at the edge. You can kind of see it in there because I haven't sanded that yet. Where I cut it across, glued that on, glued a couple other pieces on the side. I still got to sand out some of this inside, but the top is looking pretty good. And that brings it out because this kit, it actually went into a point. So now it looks more like the car. And I put this Tamiya polyester putty on there. It's a 2-part mix. Mix it up, and it kind of starts out orange and white, and then when it gets to the color of the cap, that's when you're done. And then I applied it, sanded it down, primed it, and then I've just sanded it down again, and I'm going to go down and prime it, and hopefully that'll be it with that. But I got a lot of other body work to do. I mean, you can see, just look at that right there. That's going to have to be sanded. This is going to have to be sanded again and primed. A lot of body work to do just from the get-go. But so far, it's going fairly well. I'll go ahead and put that on top there. Kind of get an idea of what it's going to look like. Oops, that didn't go all the way back. There we go. I think I'm going to have to extend that bar out because it's the way this sits in there. You can see there's a lot of space where that should be a lot closer. Oops. So that's something I'm going to have to fix too. Okay. Well, okay. So the front end, which I've looked at different pictures and videos, and you can't really get a good look at the front end. Sometimes it's silver, sometimes it's black. This is the best that I can do right now. And the front end actually comes out of this kit. So we got this frame, this front end, and I've had to do some work on the inside here. So in order to get this to fit on correctly, I had to cut those bars out. Now, when everything's said and done, you won't be able to see those in there, but I will have to put the bar coming out. And obviously this is far from done. This isn't even glued in here, this piece. I just set that in there just to see. One of the big things that I've been looking at is how this fits. Yeah. Okay, so as you can see, it doesn't fit great. It'll have to be glued, but I think, unfortunately, we're gonna have to go a little bit farther than that because this just ain't working out this way. So I think the way we're gonna have to do this is almost treat this like an airplane kit. I'll finish all this inside, put it in here, tape it all off, then spray everything after I've glued this, puttied it, and sanded it, because that ain't gonna make it, unfortunately. Okay, so another thing I've been reading online, and a lot of the guys said that they were having issues with the engine, and having to find a replacement engine. So from reading online and what everyone has said, the engine in Milner's Dragster was the Chevy 283 small block. And also had, give a shout out to Horton's Hot Rod Shop, because he had also mentioned this, and that's a channel you should go check out. Check out some of his stuff. He's got some really cool stuff on there. But I did pick up the 283 Chevy small block parts pack for this build. And we're going to put that in it. Trying to get things as close as I can to the car. It's definitely going to be rough. This is definitely going to be a slow build. There's different things I'm going to have to fill in. I actually got some more tubing, smaller tubing that's about this size. That way I can do some work to this frame too. This is definitely not something that's going to be a quick build, unfortunately. There may be builds in between this one. But so far this is going pretty well. I think I got a little bit more sanding to do right in there. I've done this like, I think 3 times now, maybe more. Spraying it, sanding it. Right now it needs sanded a little bit more, and then I'll hit it again with the primer. But I think I'm gonna actually go ahead and finish all that first, put that on, and then finish up all this, because this is gonna be a whole job just to get that to look right. That'll kind of give you an idea of what it'll look like with the wheels on. I picked up this kind of paint, the Createx Colors, Wicked Colors. This is the yellow. So I'm gonna try this out. I've never tried this stuff before. Got this at Hobby Lobby. So we'll see how this works. Look like a pretty good match for the body. But that's gonna be a while. This is water-based paint. So like I said, we'll see how this works. Hopefully it does well. And if it does, especially since, like I said, I've had a lot of trouble with different yellows. If this does well, then I'll probably start buying some of their paint for other projects. I thought I'd show you that too. And I'm still using most of the parts for the back out of this kit right here, the Jawbreaker. So we got the frame, rear end, that's all out of the Jawbreaker. Front end and body so far out of this kit. Okay, so that's all I've got done so far. Hopefully this week I'll be able to get the inside done and get that body glued on there and sanded and ready to go so that I can hit it with the yellow. Like I said, I never dreamed that I would be doing this like an airplane kit, but I think that's the only way, because there's no way that that is going to just clip on there. So it'll look better once it's on there and there's no gap. It's all sanded off and I can just paint it and put those decals right on there. All right, well, I hope you enjoyed this update. If you like, please subscribe. And God bless.